Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor, and we are back in Landcraft, ready to continue advancing our quests, especially the epic. We gotta go to the Paths of the Dead. I also took the chance to go back to the Hardened Traveler and reset the Fearless quest. Maybe this will help us with the issue we've been having with the tokens of heroism. I went back to normal difficulty and then went back to Fearless. And with this, hopefully, we will start seeing tokens once again. I don't remember this being reported, but we'll see. Oh, a rich deposit. Cool. Let's see what's inside. And I also switched back to raid. We were having a... Well, Blue Line was giving us some good survivability. And, well, we found ourselves needing that survivability, oddly enough, but hopefully that'll be the end of it. However, well, we are going to fight more ruthless death, so maybe I was a little too soon for that. Maybe I should have stayed in blue a little bit longer. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. I mean, if I need to go back to blue, well, that's something really easy to do. So we shouldn't have any issues there. What do we have in here? Titadel. I briefly remember this place as well. But the entrance to the mine this time around is sealed. Well, at least we got that checked off the deed. And with that, let's see, do we have any luck with the Paths of the Dead? As I said before, we are really close to hitting level 144, and that is exciting. We've been making very good progress lately, and to make things different, a little bit different, I've been able to play this all this chunk from the Lamroth to the Blackroot Vale more consistently than I had been able to before, so everything is also fresh in my mind. Enjoying my time in the expansion. Once again, enjoying my time in Gondor as much as I can. One part of me still wants to get to Umbar as fast as I can, but the other part of me wants to enjoy the journey, and that's what I'm doing. There is no point in rushing. Especially because, well, as of the time of recording, update 38.1 is just a few days away, and that update will increase the allegiance level to level 20, but we still miss the last 10 levels of allegiances, and it will also introduce new quests in the Cape of Umbar, so there's no point in me rushing to Umbar if we still have some more content left to get, so another reason why it's better to enjoy the journey so far. And we'll see. You have discovered Fena's Door. Although King Elessar deemed that many of the dead men of Duinhir fulfilled their oaths by defeating Balakor the Scourge and the courses of Umbar at Pelargir, the unrepentant among them still haunt Fena's Door, the southernmost entrance to the Paths of the Dead. It was whispered that one among them, named Drugat, sued for some measure of peace during the War of the Ring, but none in Gondor have seen him since this pronouncement, and others of his kind do not seem so eager to put aside their betrayals and old hatreds. The ruthless dead remain a threat to the people of the Blackroot Vale, and though they cannot be truly vanished, they can be hindered. You should defeat the ruthless dead at Fena's Door. Are we gonna be facing Drugat yet again? Oh my god, and all these guys. Our signature level, stunning me on top of that. Hopefully, they will not be as painful to fight as the ones in Lingroth. Oh, come on. Don't lag, please. That one was close. Yeah, these Ruthless Dead are something else, really. And you shouldn't... Well, I shouldn't be fighting them. Shouldn't be fighting more than one. Unless I switch back to normal difficulty, of course, in which case I think this would be simple enough. But well, I have my other Warden, my second Warden, to do this on normal difficulty to see really how much of a difference does that make. So I think with Beriathan at least I'm gonna stay at Fearless. And hopefully we'll start seeing more tokens. Why aren't they dropping any tokens? Oh my god, no! Did you do that? Oh no! Oh Christ! For God's sake! How did that guy get our backs? Ugh. Yeah, I spoke too soon. You know what? Blew all the way. Screw them. I'm not holding any punches with those guys. Hate it. Vengeance will be sweet. For Christ's sake. And that's what I'm talking about. Last one. At long last. These guys had it coming. Thank you. You have defeated the number of the Ruthless Dead at Fena's Door. Although you cannot truly banish them, perhaps it will be some time before they trouble the people of the Blackroot Vale again. I'll take your word for it. Now, this is suicide, of course. I don't even know if I will be able to make it here. Yeah. Just what I thought. No entrance to the paths of the dead in here. And I don't mind dying this time around. You will save me the way back. With that, we can go to Morlad. Let's get Garliv out before I forget. Poor guy. For us, dying so much, but... I'm also gonna come in here and enjoy my vengeance with my other Warden. But I expect even at normal difficulty these guys might be problematic if I start pulling them all at once, like I usually do on normal difficulty, so gotta remember to be careful, actually. You have discovered Morlad. Cool. Uidor.
It has been some time since you were last in the Blackroot Vale, has it not? It is my duty to inform you that the Vale does not allow for travelers without the permission of the Lord or without some suitable cause. Why have you returned?
Much has changed though. I fear not all of it for the better despite Gondor's victory in the war. Tintagel at least has been rebuilt after we routed what remained of the orcs, but there will time enough to speak of these things. I think it is my duty to inform you that the Vale does not allow for travelers without the permission of the Lord or without some suitable cause, but why have you returned? You inform Uidor that you have come to the Blackroot Vale on behalf of King Elessar. I see, that is cause enough for me and I have not forgotten the deeds you've done for the good of the Vale. I will not stand in the way of your duties, my friend. If you wish to speak to someone on the authority of the king, you should talk to Malthellam. You remember him, do you not? He was the steward of the Vale while Lord Duinhir served in the war, and though Lord Duinhir has returned, Malthellam has kept his role as steward and advisor while the Lord and Lady remain grieving for their sons. If your business should demand an audience with the Lord and Lady, so be it, but for all other matters I would not have you trouble him. It is good to see you again, Beriathan. May your errands be swift. Alrighty. So,
the long night has ended and the sun rises upon a peaceful kingdom.
Stable Master and all the stables at King's Gondor are done. Milestone just in case, and Malthellam.
I must admit that I did not expect you to return to the Blackroot Vale so soon. You are, of course, welcome to remain here as long as you wish.
Beriathan, it is good to see you well, and it gladdens my heart to know that you survived that terrible war with Mordor. The Blackroot Vale lost many, too many of its sons on the defense of Minas Tirith, and the battles that followed, as I am certain you know well. I must admit that I did not expect you to return to the Blackroot Vale so soon. You are of course welcome to remain here as long as you wish. Lord Duinhir has matters of his own to tend to, but I have the authority to grant you his permission. I must ask though, what business brings you here? You inform Malthellam that you have returned to the Blackroot Vale on behalf of King Elessar, who travels Gondor to see his new kingdom. Malthellam nods, but you sense a hesitance behind his gaze. You must pardon my candor, but perhaps it is best that you have come in King Elessar's stead. The Vale mourns, and though it may indeed be a new time of peace, my people have found little of it.
Much has changed since you last visited the Vale, my friend. The war exacted a heavy toll upon us, and many of our bowmen did not return from that journey to Minas Tirith.
Morlad has borne the greatest loss in the Vale, with many of his sons being slain in the war, and in special the Lord's sons, Duinhir and Rosfin. They were beloved among the people of Morlad, and it is a great sorrow that neither of them will be heir to the lordship of the Vale. Between the news that King Elessar would not come to the Vale, and of the baseless rumors that Lord Duinhir slew the emissary of the Haradrim in Minas Tirith, the people of Morlad believe that the Blackroot Vale has come to be known as a place of disrepute, a place of low-born criminals not worthy of the king's attention. Such a thing cannot be true, of course. Ah, Lord Duinhir slew the emissary of the Haradrim. Yeah, that was the allegiance in Gondor. True. After all, King Elessar was swift to pardon the Lord when the true culprit was identified. By alas, voices carried through Minas Tirith and out into Gondor. That is another matter, though. At least I think it was Duinhir. It was a long time ago we did that allegiance. If you have come on behalf of King Elessar, then let us continue your work. It is true that you are an emissary of King Elessar, but more importantly, you are held in high regard among many people in the Vale. Your presence could do much to ease their misgivings in the aftermath of the war, Beriathan. I would ask that you travel to the hamlets of Alagrant, Sardol and Lankrath to deliver word of King Elessar's gratitude to their people. Oh, and Tintagel. It has been revealed since last you were in the Vale, and its people would be pleased to see you again. May you find good fortune in this errand, Beriathan. Let us hope that peace is closer than it seems. Okay. Oh. What is this?
Might I trouble you with a more private matter, my friend? One of my bowmen, Egnir, has taken an unexpected leave of his duties here in Morlad.
It is not like him, at least not as he was before he set out for the war with Lord Duinhir, but now, and it pains me to say it, I can scarcely recognize him. Before he left, few could contest that he was one of the Lord Duinhir's most skilled bowmen, only equaled by the Lord himself and his two sons Duinhir and Rosfin. When Eknir returned, I saw in his eyes a sort not unlike that of Lord Duinhir and Lady Rosfin, but I do not know why it has taken hold of him. I have asked him, but he will not answer, and now he has gone so far as to leave Morlad. Do not misunderstand, my friend. I would not see him punished, but I worry for him, and I worry that he may not return to us at all. From what I've heard, Eknir was last seen traveling southward toward Alagrand. Will you seek him out and ask him to come home to Morlad? I'll be more than happy to do that, but first I gotta look for Lady Rosfin outside her home, so let me see if I remember the way up. Okay, so here we are. Rosfin and Duinhir. Poor couple. My condolences, of course, even though they are not enough.
A pall lies upon the Blackroot Vale, for all her young men were drawn away eastward to war.
My sons too were caught in the whirlpool, and Duinhir and Rosfin will not come home again. My husband Duinhir thinks to spare me the details of what befell my boys, but there is evil in not knowing. If only I knew they perished quickly and without pain. Lady Rosfin entreats you through eyes filled with tears, but when you hesitate, she looks away. No, I will not ask it of you. I know Duinhir thinks to spare my feelings, the hard-headed man. I am stronger than he knows, and have always been so. It is not lost on me that he was not able to save our sons from death. He with his strong sword arm and his thick shield, and I was forced to remain behind in Morlad. I, who might have been able to keep them safe. Life can be cruel, Beriathan, but it is crueler still for a mother in time of war. I keep thinking I will hear the sound of my sons boasting and laughing on the wind, and then I will see Duinhir and Rosfin climbing the path through the village, alive and well and happy. But it is not to be so.
I have told Rosfin over and over again that there was nothing I could do to save our sons.
She will not listen. Duinhir lowers his voice so he can speak only to you out of his wife's hearing. Sometimes, when I lie awake in the silent watches of the night, Beriathan, I wonder if it is the truth I speak to my wife. I raised Duinhir and Rosfin to be bold and to be valiant, and they've made me proud every day of their lives. But if I had raised them to be less bold, to be less valiant... Duinhir chokes on his words and stifles a sob, turning his back on Rosfin to hide his face. Would my boys be alive today, Beriathan, if I had not raised them to hold dear the same things as I? No, stop. Enough. You are here on the king's business. You are not here to listen to the ramblings of a sad old man. Speak to the people of Morlad. Do what you came to do. My God, yeah. I would never want to be in this guy's place. Ever.
I've got nothing to say to you. Move along.
Alright, I'm going. You don't need to be so... mad.
You dare speak to me after bringing such death to Morlad? I will not stand for this.
What did I do? For Christ's sake! I relent. You hear someone shouting for help from outside the entrance to Morlad. Just want to check the other path. See if maybe there is something in here that might be important. Doesn't seem to be the case. But it's always good checking things out. So what happens now?
Am I glad to see you?
A gang of those surprised me a few minutes ago and I had to turn and hide. What if they come back? They found me, help! Christ's sake, stop it with the stunning! Stop it! Thank you, friend. That was frightening, but I am fine now. However, thanks to her is a way to safety. Okay. So now I gotta find Legolas and Gimli. Legolas and Gimli stand at the ready, their weapons drawn.
Someone loosed an arrow at me from hiding.
I am fortunate indeed that this is a town of men and not of elves, or it might have hit its mark. These folk are not happy to see us.
What is wrong with these people?
Do they not know we're here to help them? Do you think the heirs of Castamere are to blame?
What is wrong with these people?
Examine the arrow embedded in the tree. Yeah, just a moment. Because our friends were attacked. And yeah, we gotta save a picture of this. It is fortunate this arrow was not loosed with more skill. Oh my god. Will Duinhir be able to help? I mean, even if he somehow overcomes his grievance, his pain, and assumes leadership of the town, will the people hear him? Because it seems things are getting complicated here in Morlad. Everybody is resenting us. I don't know if Duinhir will be able to stop this, even if he tries.
Supporters of the heirs of Castamere? No, I do not think they are responsible for this.
Not in the Blackroot Vale. Duinhir looks directly into your eyes and holds your attention. My people have suffered much, as have we all, and King Elessar did not take the time to visit Morlad himself. There is no conspiracy here, Beriathan. The folk of the Vale grieve, and their grief has made them angry. I understand it, for I am angry too.
I bid you farewell then, and I will try to master my grief and that of my people.
But King Elessar would do well to remember that not all the folk of Gondor are as stern or as cold as the elves he loves, and if he does not take care, his kingdom may slip away. And when it does, if it does, it may not be the fires of the coursers, but to the fury of his own people. You tell him that, Beriathan. He has my loyalty, for I am sworn to Gondor, but these are true words I speak, and he would do well to heed them. Thank you for the advice, Duinhir. I will make sure to let the king know. And we'll see. Vitality, physical mitigation, tactical mitigation, resistance and evade. I might keep this. Might be good keeping this, especially because wardens now are not getting any evade from agility. And I don't know if this is intended or not, but wardens are not getting any evade for anything. And that doesn't seem right. It seems we should be getting evade from something else, if not agility. And there is a note for update 38.1 that states that a wheel was, from what I understand, not giving the correct stats to everybody. So let's hope that at least that's where Wardens will get evade. I don't know if it will make that big of a difference, but evade was a very, or at least fairly important part of a Warden's arsenal before, because you have your trait that will get you to get heals every time you evade an attack, and there was another trait that would have you sacrifice evade for block and parry. That is worthless now because we barely have any evade. So yeah, hopefully that is corrected somehow. Even if evade it's not as important as other stats maybe, it doesn't feel right that we get 0 evade. So I hope to be proven wrong. Now let me check the quests in here in the Blackroot Vale. 8 out of 12. Well, it seems at least our time here in the Blackroot Vale is going to be a short one.
Hail! What business do you have in Tinglebell? Has the Lord sent you to check on our progress?
We inform Duinhir that you have come on behalf of King Elessar to deliver a message to the people of Tinglebell. Duinhir summons the other inhabitants of Tinglebell over to you and gestures for you to speak. You offer your sincere gratitude to the people of Tinglebell, and they appear somewhat heartened by your words. You make certain to mention that the hardships that Tinglebell in particular endured during the War of the Ring have not been forgotten to Gondor, and that King Elessar mourns those who were slain by the orcs of the White Mountains. After you finish speaking, the crowd murmurs in assent and disperses. I know for my part that many here will appreciate the king's words. You see, I lived in Tinglebell before the war, and it was a great pain upon my heart to learn what became of it while I served with Lord Duinhir in the defense of Minas Tirith. I know firsthand what battles we fought and what sacrifices we made during the war, and I know well the role the King Elessar played in securing the newfound peace of Fort Gondor. I was there, Beriathan, but many of these folk were not. It is important that they know that Gondor remembers them and that the king works in their best interests. I thank you for your visit on the king's behalf, friend. There is much work to be done still in Tinglebell, but we shall see it to its end. Okay, seems to be it. Oh no! Here we go, the quest!
I'm told that Lord Duinhir has ordered some of his men to remain in Tinglebell lest the orcs return. To that end, I've just finished crafting another batch of arrows, and it would be a great help if you could deliver them to the bowmen here in Tinglebell.
I must thank you again for your efforts to wrest Tinglebell from the orcs during the war. Once Lord Duinhir and his men returned, the orcs could scarcely defend themselves and fled into the mountains. I'm told that Lord Duinhir has ordered some of his men to remain in Tinglebell lest the orcs return. To that end, I've just finished crafting another batch of arrows, and it would be a great help if you could deliver them to the bowmen here in Tinglebell. I don't believe that the orcs will dare to return now that Tinglebell is revealed and so well defended, but if they do, we will be prepared. I will not lose my home a second time. Take as many as you can carry from this barrel and bring them to our bowmen. There we go. There is a Kinney in here. I just wanted to say hi, but I guess that can wait. I'll put this to good use. I hope we will not have need of this, but I will be prepared. I hope so too. Orc will ever set foot in Tinglebell again. Alright. Ah, you have another quest, my bad.
Oh, might I ask one more thing of you?
My apprentice, Rudon, is due to deliver a new supply of iron ore to my forge, but he's been gone a bit longer than I would have expected. He's probably just talking to one of the miners again, but there's a lot of work to be done today, and I could use another pair of hands. Would you check on him up by the mine? Sure. Leave it to us, my friend. Absolutely. I'll put this to good use, friend. I'm sure you will.
Please, I beg you, do not tell him about this. I will sort this out, I swear it.
Oh no, how did I even do that? Rudon stands beside a toppled cart and iron ore lies strewn about the ground. And now he sent someone to check on me? Master Beriathan is going to have my head for this. He tasked me with delivering a supply of unrefined iron ore to the forges, but if I don't get this cart righted, it's going to cost a lot of trouble for the miners. Would you help me deliver this ore to Master Beriathan? I was also supposed to help clean up the loose ore strewn about the village from when the orcs took Titular, but now it seems I'll have no time for that. Please, I beg you, do not tell him about this. I will sort this out, I swear it. Sure. I can help you with that. Pile of unrefined ore. And there we go. For Christ's sake, please do it.
Very good, my friend. Landcroft and its people were very kind to us when Titular fell. And I will never forget that. But my place is here. At my home and at my forge.
Still got a great deal of work ahead of me, but I am glad to be back here in Titular.
As much as I appreciate your assistance, I do not recall taking you on as my apprentice.
What is this, Beriathan? You set the ore down beside Beriathan's forge and he nods in thanks. As much as I appreciate your assistance, I do not recall taking you on as my apprentice. What has Rudon done now? You explained that Rudon has accidentally toppled a cart outside the mine in Titular. Beriathan sighs, but you notice a slight smile. When I was an apprentice, I did the very same thing, and it was years before I heard the end of it. It will take time and more careful hands, but Rudon will make a fine blacksmith. Since he is still preoccupied with the cart, I could use your help moving one last crate of ingots over to the wagon at the western end of the village. Those crates are awfully heavy, and I've already moved more than my fair share of them. What do you say, my friend? One last favor? Sure. Where's the crate? I don't see it. Crate of... okay. There. And of course, we cannot pick this up while on horseback. Is a heavy one. A very heavy one. Wow. We'll manage, I guess. You set the crate down on the wagon and the task is done.
It is done then? Very good. I don't think my back could have withstood another one of those crates. I'm not the young man I once was after all.
Rudon, on the other hand, Beriathan chuckles to himself. Well, let us just say the path to becoming a journeyman can be a long and winding one. You have my thanks, Beriathan, and do offer my regards to King Elessar. Absolutely, will do. Our next stop, let us go to Landcraft and then to Alagrand. I think we should be able to do that today. I'm really hoping I would be able to hit level 144 today. We might be a little bit tight, but I think we should be able to do it. Yeah, I think we should be able to do it. We should have enough time for that. I hope. Oh, another quest. Great.
What an unexpected return. What business brings you to Landcraft?
You inform Osben that you have come on behalf of King Elessar to deliver a message to the people of Landcraft. Osben calls for the other inhabitants of Landcraft and they gather about you as you begin to speak. You offer your sincere gratitude to the people of Landcraft, and while some appear to be heartened by your words, a few others seem dismissive of your presence in the Blackroot Vale. You apologize on behalf of King Elessar for the hardships that Landcraft endured during the war, including accepting the refugees of Tingoil after it was sacked by the orcs of the White Mountains. At the mention of Tingoil, a few in the crowd grumble in protest. After you finish your remarks, the crowd disperses. I'm afraid gratitude alone is little comfort to those who have lost their sons in the war. Not to mention you have forgotten another matter entirely, that of the sleepless dead. When the king summoned them, they followed him past Landcraft. Do you have any idea how scared our children were? How heavy the dread laid upon the hearts of our elders? No? Short of vanishing the last of the dead, there is little else that troubles us here now that the war is ended. If that authority is King Elessar's alone, then I ask why he has not used it for the good of his people. Forgiveness or no, what further use could those dead men have to Gondor? They endanger us by their bare presence, so I must believe that King Elessar deems our lives a worthy cost. Osmond pauses. Forgive me, Beriathan, I apologize for my harsh manner, but you must understand that not all is well simply because Gondor has won the war. As always, you are welcome in Landcraft, but King Elessar has much still to prove to us.
Randy set off for the Hill of Eric, with 2 young boys named Thendor and Glamion. Would you go find them? Such a dare could lead them into grave danger.
Hail, friend. I don't believe we spoke the last time you were in the Vale, but I remember your face. I am Berthalent, a simple craftsman of Gondor, and you are? You introduce yourself and inform Berthalent that you are one of King Elessar's emissaries. Ah, I did not realize you work in the service of the king. Might I ask you a small favor of you? You see, some of the children in Landcraft have taken to daring each other to do this and that, and it is usually harmless fun. However, I overheard one of the older girls, Randis, talking about the son of Eric. You have been to the Vale before, Beriathan, so surely you know what lurks on the Hill of Eric. Such a dare could lead them into grave danger. Randis set up with 2 young boys named Thendor and Glamion. Would you go find them? Tell them to come home before it is too late. Yeah, just give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Alright, let's get to the Hill of Eric then. You have had Thendor and Glamion, but Randis is not with them. Give me just another sec, please. I'm back, sorry. Remember that pizza I mentioned a few episodes ago? Well, I was just ordering it because I'm, once again, starving. Anyway, let's see what the kids need.
Rondis wouldn't listen. I don't want to do the dare anymore. I want to go home.
Thendor is clearly afraid, and his voice barely rises above a whisper. You comfort Thendor and try to encourage him to return to Landcraft with Glamion.
Rondi said she wasn't going to come back until she touched the stone. It's been a long time.
I was going to go with Randis, Then Thendor got scared, so I didn't want to leave him alone. Glamian appears visibly nervous. You tell Glamian to take Thendor back to Lankrath and that you'll find Randis. If you say so. Yeah. Leave before the dead return, because it's been established that they lurk at night, so we gotta do this fast before they come back. There she is. Randis stands before the Stone of Edic, clearly uneasy.
But I was so close. I only stopped because I heard those voices. Did you hear them too?
Who are you? Why is it so cold? You tell Randis you've come to bring her home to Lankrath. But I was so close. I only stopped because I heard those voices. Do you hear them too? I can't go yet. I've got to.
Oh no! I thought they
Well, thank God we didn't switch out of blue. Oh, for Christ's sake. If you made me fight any more Ruthless Dead again. Oh, Christ. Please. No more. Ah. Christ! Stop that! God! Really? More? Foolish girl. Oh, Christ. Stop it! How many more of these guys do we need to fight? Please be over now. Don't you dare killing Randis. Christ, the dread upon your heart lessens as the Ruthless Dead vanishes.
I want to get home. Just don't tell Thendor and Glamian about this, okay? Oh, I've just got to do something first. Ha! See? I told them I'd touch it.
Oh, please don't do that again. My god, what a mess. Thankfully, through the magic of editing, you won't see what just happened. Pretty embarrassing, but anyway. Let's see if after this we should be able to go to Alagrand. It's the closest village least let me hit level 144 today. Not asking much. Okay, the kids are back. Please don't do that again.
We still tell tales of the Shadow Men because there is truth to them. But too often the children think they are just that, stories. I am just grateful that you were there to protect her.
You're back. Thender and Glamia returned long after you left, and Randis just ran back into Landcrath. She got quite a grin on her face. I trust they weren't too much trouble for you? You tell Berthelen that the ruthless dead appeared at the Stone of Eddic. I see. I hope they would not, but I feared as much. We still tell tales of the Shadow Men because there is truth to them, but too often the children think they are just that, stories. I am just grateful that you were there to protect her, Beriathan. Now that she is safe, I hope Randis will take this lesson to heart. The other children look up to her after all. Ah, so close! Just one more. One more quest. Please give me one more quest. Let me complete one more quest today. Please tell me I have enough time for that. I should have enough time for that. I hope I have enough time for that. Almost there. Maybe I should stop gathering ore for the time being and see if I can just make it to level 144. Alagrand, yeah, almost there. And if we are following the pattern in here, there should be a bounty board on this town as well. And maybe another landscape quest for defeating whatever enemies we have in here. Seems reasonable enough, right? We have discovered Alagrand. Awesome. So we have completed... Oh! Explorer of Blackroot Vale. Explorer of Western King's Gondor. And we have now the deeds of Western King's Gondor. Let me check that, all that really quick. So... we got... some Virtue XP. Traveler of Blackroot Vale renewed. And... Explorer of Western King's Gondor. So let us check both. You have thoroughly explored the lands of Western King's Gondor. You have explored the settlements, enemy encampments, natural landmarks, and other places of note in the Blackroot Vale in great detail. And we gotta complete quests, which we are about to do, and the Slayer, which will take some time. You see no signs of Egnir among the hunters of Alagrand.
Welcome back to Alagrand, my friend. To what do I owe this visit?
You inform Kalanen that you have come on behalf of King Elessar to deliver a message to the people of Alagrand. Kalanen calls over the other inhabitants of Alagrand and steps back to allow you to speak. You offer your sincere gratitude to the people of Alagrand, and a few among them appear heartened by your words, while others appear entirely uninterested. You apologize on behalf of King Elessar for the severe edicts during the war, including the brief suspension of their hunts by order of Malthellam, and a few people in the crowd grumble in affirmation. As your speech concludes, the remaining crowd disperses. I appreciate your words, my friend, and I think many in the Vale would find them a comfort. However, whether the king visits us or not is not of terrible concern to many of us here in Alagrand. Although we are all thankful that the terrible war is ended, it is no secret that we were sheltered from the worst of its horrors. We are simple hunters after all. If King Elessar wishes to offer his gratitude to us though, I would not refuse it. Perhaps he can visit Alagrand himself when next he wishes to see the Blackroot Vale.
Egnir, you say? Yes, a man by that name did pass through the other day, but he left not long after he arrived. Why don't you ask Sarnir if he knows where he's gone?
I must admit, I didn't take the time to speak with him. He had a grim look about him, and it seemed to me that he would not welcome a conversation. Even so, Sarnir tried to talk with him. It seemed a bit one-sided, but I did hear Egnir answer him on a few occasions. Why don't you ask Sarnir if he knows where Egnir has gone? Ah, and there is another quest in here. Please tell me one of those. I will be able to complete today.
Draug has lost his favorite toy somewhere in the woods, and try as I may, I haven't been able to find it.
Beriathan?
Draug could likely find it himself, but there are traps about, and I would not risk him stepping into one of them. I call his toy Blue because it is blue, and, well, you'll understand.
Had not heard that you returned to the Vale. What business brings you here? You informed Dirion that you are one of King Elessar's emissaries in Gondor and that you have come to aid the people of the Blackroot Vale. Oh! You must excuse the manner of my behavior when last you visited the Vale. I was perhaps too vocal in my displeasure with the Steward's leadership, and you did not deserve such a harsh welcome to Alagrand, but if you are here to aid us... Dirion appears embarrassed, and his face flushes red. You see, Draug has lost his favorite toy somewhere in the woods, and try as I may, I haven't been able to find it. Draug could likely find it himself, but there are traps about, and I would not risk him stepping into one of them. I call his toy Blue because it is blue and, well, you'll understand. Would you please take a look in the traps outside Alagrand? If it is not in one of those, it's probably lost, but I would appreciate your help just the same, my friend.
Ah yes, Egnir was here for a brief time. He told me he had a matter to attend to in the woods just outside Alagrand. But he would not say more of it. I must confess, I spied him carving something into one of the trees just to the west.
It has been some time, Beriathan. I mean no insult, but I did not expect you to return to the Vale. What business brings you to Alagrand? You ask Sarnir if he spoke to a man named Egnir and if he knows where Egnir meant to go after leaving Alagrand. You inform him that Egnir is remissing his duties and must return to Morlad. Ah yes, Egnir was here for a brief time. He told me he had a matter to attend to in the woods just outside Alagrand, but he would not say more of it. I must confess my curiosity got the better of me, so I followed him at a great distance. I spied him carving something into one of the trees just to the west of Alagrand, but I dared not interrupt him, and I made my way back to Alagrand before his work was finished. I did speak to Egnir when he returned, and he said that he was going to meet someone, but I cannot remember the name of the man he mentioned. It started with an L, but what was it? I haven't been back to see his handiwork in the woods, so why don't you find out what he was carving? In the meantime, I'll try to remember that man's name. The trap is empty and you see no sign of Blue. So it seems we are following our own Blue's clues. Cue CSI. CSI meme. Terrible joke, I know, but I couldn't resist. You spot what appears to be a defaced carving on a nearby tree. Oh! Although the carving has been defaced by deep slashes, it still clearly reads E+D. Trap, I didn't see you there. Please let it be the one. No sign of Blue. God! small colorful object caught in a nearby trap catches your eye. It's blue. Blue appears to be a doll made in the likeness of the men of the mountain. Okay, that's a funny one. And maybe a little bit risky, but okay.
Defaced? Perhaps I was mistaken. Maybe it was carved some time ago then by another's hand or even Egnir's own. As you describe it, it seems to me a sort of lover's mark. But I say some sorrow must lay heavy upon Egnir's heart. For what other reason would he travel so far from Morlad to try to rid himself of it?
Well, were you able to find it? You tell Sarnir that you found a carving on a nearby tree, but its appearance has been marred by several deep slashes hewn into the tree's bark. However, despite being defaced by Egnir, you tell Sarnir that it's still clearly read E+E. Defaced. Perhaps I was mistaken. Maybe it was carved some time ago then, by another's hand or even Egnir's own. As you describe it, it seems to me a sort of lover's mark, but I say some sorrow must lay heavy upon Egnir's heart. For what other reason would he travel so far from Morlad to try to rid himself of it? I suppose the E is meant to refer to Egnir, but D could refer to countless people in the Vale. One thing is for certain, and that is that it does not refer to Didion over there. I don't believe he and Egnir have ever exchanged a single word. Wow!
I recall the name of that man Egnir meant to meet. Ludir. I believe he's one of the Lord's archers, but I couldn't say where to find him. Who sent you here again? Widor, was it? You ought to ask him then.
Awesome. So with this we got to level 144. We completed the quests of the Blackroot Vale. We completed the quests of Western King's Gondor. And we gotta check all that. Virtue capped. Tolerance? No. No, well, tolerance is good enough, I guess. So we have quests of the Blackroot Vale. We have 8 to the Blackroot Vale. And Hero of Western King's Gondor. So, you have done much to aid the peoples of Western King's Gondor, and your efforts have proven invaluable to the renewal of Gondor. That's one. And the other one, you have done much to aid the people of the Blackroot Vale in the renewal of Gondor. Okay. So we have virtue capped reached, fidelity was capped, and the next one in line was tolerance. I don't see tolerance. Okay. Here it is. We can switch now, let's say, to... Yeah, tolerance is good enough.
I finally recalled the name of that man Egnir meant to meet. Ludir. I believe he's one of the Lord's archers, but I couldn't say where to find him. Who sent you here again? Widor, was it? You ought to ask him then.
I know him to be one of the Lord's finest captains in Morlad, so he would surely know better than I. I do hope you can find Egnir, my friend. It seems his sorrows have taken hold of him, and I know all too well how difficult that embrace can be to break. I don't remember what quest you had last time I had in here, but I'm gonna take your word for it. Drow called in excitement and practically snatches blue from your hand. It's a funny one. A really funny one.
Oh, wonderful! Look how happy Draug is! I must admit, I'd begun to worry that blue was lost for good. I could have sewn another, of course, but it never would have been quite the same. And besides, Draug would have figured it out.
I cannot thank you enough, Beriathan. Yeah, sure, don't mention it. I'm glad to help. And with this, well, we still have a couple things to do here in the Vale, but I think we have run out of time for today. Let me just check. Okay, I can use the milestone, but we're gonna check all this later on the next episode because, yeah, we have taken too much time today and it's time for us to end. So, thank you once again for watching today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. I hope you enjoyed and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.